Right, well, hello again bikers. Time for another quick ride out to break up my day. It's a nice day, so I thought I'd do another quick video. This is a good news video, or at least it was for me. This is a couple of modifications which are both really quite cheap and in my view substantially improved my enjoyment of the bike. Both are quite personal, so we'll crack on and I'll do my best to describe whether or not they might be useful for you. So the first I'll talk about is a 16-tooth front sprocket change, and then the second a lowering link to lower the bike by about an inch. Right, so firstly, the 16-tooth front sprocket. There's a lot of debate on the internet about the merits or otherwise of the 16-tooth front sprocket, so I'll just tell you my views on it. Why did I make that change? Well, if you've ever had dirt bikes, if anyone here has had a motocross bike and ever taken a stock motocross bike on a cross-country track, then the feeling you get is exactly how I feel the CB500 felt for me in the context of our local roads. Now, the context of our local roads means a lot of around town 30 miles per hour stuff, 50 to 60 miles an hour, most of the sort of major carriageways, and a bit of 70 miles an hour stuff on the motorways. So that feeling is, you know, when the bike feels really quick, but you go through the gears really quickly, and then you're on top and you're sitting there constantly looking for another gear, right? So in the case of the CB500, once it got out on the open road, you'd accelerate up to speed very quickly, but then have that feeling that the bike needed a seventh gear and keep looking for it, kept looking for it all the time. So that was my feeling, and that's the reason I did it. And I've done quite a lot of gearing changes on my dirt bike, so you know, I recognised quite quickly that for me the bike felt like it was geared too low. Now I have to say this is a personal thing, and it depends heavily on how you like to ride the bike. Some people really like to rev their bikes much more. I'm not a great rever. I quite like to sit at open road speeds, just cruising at a comfortable sort of level of revs. So I prefer slightly lower revs. Other people prefer higher, and so if that's the case, then this is not a modification for you. But if you're like me and you're riding the bike around and thinking, well, it's pretty quick, but I'm in top before I know it and I keep looking for seventh and it's not there, then I'd suggest that the 16-tooth sprocket is worth a try. One of the things that's great about it is not just that it's really cheap, but less than £20 for the front sprocket, but it's so cheap that actually, if you're not sure, you can always just fit one for a while and ride with it. If you like it, keep it. If you don't, go back to the 15. It's not a big deal. You know, for me, I much prefer the bike with the 16-tooth sprocket. It makes it just a little quieter while cruising on the higher speed roads. Yes, it's a little bit slower through the gears, but I like that, and I feel I could get more pull out of each gear and hold each gear longer and further with the 16-tooth. So actually I quite like that as well. Are there any downsides to it? You'll see quite a bit of debate on the forums about the good, bad and ugly of it. Are there any downsides? Some people will say that it makes first a bit taller. Yes, that's true. Yep, if you gear the bike up, first will be a bit taller. Personally, I think that is noticeable, but only for the first ride, and then after that I pretty much didn't notice it anymore. And I would say, to the extent that it was noticeable on the first ride, it's also noticeable that when you gear the bike up, that first and second are a bit smoother, which make them a bit more usable. So at least for me, I consider that to be a bit of a wash. So so that didn't really bother me greatly. I'll just let this guy go here. Cheers, bud. So that doesn't worry me at all. I've seen people sort of say, oh, you'll lose top speed. Wow, that's an interesting one. I guess that's almost certainly true, isn't it? It's a 47 horsepower bike, and top speed is almost certainly going to be limited by that 47 horsepower. So gearing up a bike with limited power is certainly not going to make it go faster, and probably is going to reduce the top speed. But you know what? I just don't care, right? I just don't care. I very rarely go much beyond 80 miles an hour on this bike, and so I really don't care whether I've lost a couple of miles an hour off the top end, whatever that might be. So that, again, that's a personal thing. If you're bothered by that, then maybe this mod's not for you. Oh yes, and the bonus. Now if you're someone like me that has a bike with the grossly overheating speedo and that irritates you, if that's your particular take on it, which it certainly was mine, the 16 tooth sprocket is a magic fix. So on my bike with the 16 tooth sprocket, the speedo now reads exactly like I think it should, which is to say that it does overheat like it's supposed to, but we're only talking about 2 miles an hour at 70 miles an hour, not by 7 or 8 miles an hour, which suits me just fine. So that's a 16 tooth front sprocket, really cheap, great if you think the bike's a bit undergeared for you, you're looking for a 7th all the time, go for it. If you don't like it, it's not a heck of a lot of money put down. Hello bikers. Right, so the other one on the list for today is it's actually the last mod I've done to the bike, and quite frankly it should have been the first, but I'll talk you through that. And that is I've put on a lowering link. So it's from a company in the UK called Lush Racing. That's Lima Utel Sierra Hotel Racing. I'm sure there's other companies that make similar products. It lowers the rear I think by 30 mils, and I've dropped the forks by about 20 to match, so overall I'm down by about an inch. Again, really quite a cheap mod, about £60, and I have to say I just think it's been a brilliant mod. Hello chaps, 3-way control, nightmare. Yeah, so an inch lower, how much difference could it make? Well, it's made a lot of difference to me. It means I can get a firmer footing in adverse conditions, you know, when the camber's not quite right, when there's a bit of a hole in the road at the wrong spot, which is common here in the UK. So it's been great for confidence, and actually the handling of the bike, it feels just great. I presume it's the lower centre of gravity, but it just feels really good, so I've been really pleased with it. It's one of the best mods I've done by far. So you might say, why didn't I do it earlier? I know I see people saying, well, it's one of the first things they did to their bikes, particularly if they're buying it for a lady, and actually it should have been one of the first things I did. The reason is I wasn't that aware of the product, to be fair, but also I'd had bad experiences in my dirt biking persona with lowering links. So I've, being short and having had a lot of dirt bikes, I have used them in the past on dirt bikes. But the criticism there I found to be true is that even as a club racer, the lowering link did lower the bike, but it also compromised the action of the shock sufficiently that it was really noticeable even for an average hacker like me. So I kind of learned from that that lowering links are a bit of a trade-off in the sense that, yeah, okay, you get it lower, but you suffer on suspension performance, and so it's not really been in the forefront of my mind. As it turns out, that's a mistake. There's been no loss of shock performance at all. I mean, it's possible it's better, although I assume it's just the centre of gravity, but it's been absolutely great. So I guess the only thing to say other than that is I've seen some people say that you can somehow reverse the stock link. You don't need to buy a specially engineered product to lower the bike. It's like, well, I don't know, it's up to you whether you follow that sort of advice. To me, that's just an incorrectly installed link. It may well lower the bike, but I can tell you, because I look closely at the Lush Racing link and compared it to the stock link, I can tell you that the geometry, let's get through here, of the Lush link is not the same as that of the stock link, and there's no way you can turn around, flip or rotate the stock link to get the same geometry. And you'd expect that, because the function of a properly engineered lowering link is to set the bike, an inch lower or whatever at the rear, while putting the shock back where the designers originally intended it to be. So that's what the purpose of the lowering link is, and that means that the geometry has to be changed somewhat from the stock one. Anyway, I'm sure there's others with different opinion out there, but personally I'm more than happy to pay the 60 quid, and I have to say it's a fantastic mod. Really made the bike much more enjoyable. Should have done it first. Anyway, so that's I think that's me today, guys. Ciao for now.